not even 2 weeks into this season, so I know it's early. But are we sure this isn't the best Warriors bench of the dynasty? With every game played, I'm more and more convinced of it. This Warriors roster is as deep as they've ever been. And yeah, that includes the 2022 championship team. Now I know that's a pretty bold statement to make, but let me tell you why I think that. First, we gotta start with Chris Paul. I haven't really seen it being said much, so I'll be the one to say it. Chris Paul's the best backup point guard in NBA history. Name a backup point guard all time that's better than his 38-year-old version of Chris Paul. I promise you can't. Having CP3 lead the second unit is such a luxury because you can make the argument that up to this point, that CP3's been the Warriors' second best player. Now I know Draymond and Wiggins are still working their way back into shape, so this might not be the case a month from now. But all I know is, outside of Steph, CP3 has impacted winning more than anyone else on this roster up to this point, and he's doing it coming off the bench. Here's Steve Kerr talking about Chris Paul accepting his role off the bench.
It's massive. It's massive the way Chris has embraced everything here in the first month since he's been with us. And when I talked to him this morning about it, he just, nodded his head, said, "Let's go get him." It's like not even a big deal. So I think it's similar to Andre all those years ago. I guess 2014 when a vet, a great player, all-star, shows that kind of sacrifice. It just sets a tone for the whole team. So the vibe is great on our team, and Chris is one of the main reasons for that.
Alright, let's go over some CP3 stats real quick. So far through 5 games, CP's averaging 9.4 points per game, 8.2 assists, 4.6 rebounds, and only 29.5 minutes a game. The lowest minutes per game average of his career. Now he's only shooting 38% from the field, and he's 1 for 19 from 3. So his shot hasn't really gone down yet. And yet, he's still a plus 51 for the season, which is a 10.2 per game on average. That's by far the best mark on the team. For reference, Steph's only a plus 6 and Klay's a plus 21. Now obviously, 5 games is a small sample size, but it's still noteworthy. Despite Chris Paul's slow shooting start to the season, one thing he'll always be able to rely on is his mid-range shot. Let's check out this clip versus the Pelicans a few games ago. CP waits for the screen from TJD initially, decides not to take it and says, "F it, let me test these ankles right quick." Hit him with a quick ha between the legs, then hit him with a behind the back combo into a fadeaway going to his right over Zion and a second help defender. Yo, is it me or does CP3 look more explosive than he has the past few years in Phoenix? The defense got a solid contest up, but considering he's a 38-year-old 6-foot point guard, he created enough separation to get a clean enough look over the taller defender, plus a second help defender. That's pretty impressive stuff. Now, besides still being a mid-range assassin, it's obvious his impact on the team goes way beyond that. It's his veteran leadership, basketball IQ, and his intangibles as a competitor that reflect in his team high plus-minus. Now the key stat is his 41 assists to 6 turnovers. That's a 6.8 to 1 ratio. One of the Warriors' biggest problems last season was questionable decision making and an insane amount of careless turnovers. But with CP3 running the show, he single-handedly solves that problem. As long as he stays healthy enough to qualify, I don't see how he doesn't run away with the 6th Man of the Year award. Next up, we gotta talk about Moody. Moody's shown he's more than capable of contributing to a championship level rotation. He's a knockdown shooter on one end, and his defensive playmaking and awareness is improved on the other end. He seems to have a better grasp of what he can and can't get away with physically in the NBA. Moody can basically fit into any lineup as a 6'6", two-way wing with a 7-foot wingspan. Whether he plays 5 minutes or 35 minutes, he always stays ready and gives you maximum effort. Dario Saric was a vital pickup for Golden State in terms of roster construction. They needed a stretch big that can keep the defense honest. The fact that he's also a connective passer makes him a perfect fit next to basically anyone in the front court. He pairs well next to Draymond, Kuminga, even Enrique Trace Jackson Davis in 2 big lineups. Him and Chris Paul's previous chemistry in the 2-man game from their time in Phoenix has made the acclimation process in the second unit seamless. GP2's back fully healthy, and he looks to be back to his 2022 form, where he was easily one of the Warriors' most valuable players in that championship run. But he's a high IQ player that can fit into any lineup thanks to his defensive versatility and his smart decision making offensively. Mike Dunleavy did something extremely rare. He drafted 2 rookies in the same draft that are both day 1 rotation level ready players, outside the lottery. In TJD's case, the 57th pick in the draft. This was a home run draft for the Warriors. They actually elected to draft for fit instead of upside, and it paid off. Both Brandon Pajimski and TJD are high IQ players who already have a great feel for the game. Their minutes might be sporadic because of how deep this Warriors team is, but either player can plug in and give you quality minutes in a pinch. TJD provides rim protection, rebounding, vertical spacing, and interior finishing, while Paz provides shooting, passing, rebounding, connectivity, and smart decision making. So far, TJD's been thrown into the fire against Zion, Sabonis, and Valanciunas, and he's been able to more than hold his own. This Warriors bench is just ridiculously loaded, and by the time we get to the end of the season, I think it'll be no doubt in anyone's mind that this is the best bench the Warriors have ever had. Anyways, that's all I got for y'all. Hey, do me a favor, if you enjoy my content, hit that subscribe button, it's much appreciated. I'll holler at you on the next one. Peace.